Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone? Bad Larry here. Today we are exploring Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 4. I rated this cover an 88%. I like the movement, the action, the detail, but the painting effect or the style in which it is colored, it dulls the cover, in my opinion. I've always said the cover of the comic is its thumbnail, what gets the reader to pick it over other comics. While I do like the cover, it just doesn't pop. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. And you could pause the video if you want to read the series synopsis. But in short, Moon Knight is on the run. He's being blamed for being a drug kingpin, which he is not. And they need to find Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man. Now, let's jump into the issue. The blonde lady is Detective Frazier. She's a dirty cop hooked on the drug called glitter. She is working for the real drug kingpin of that glitter called Achilles Fairchild. This cop is trying to strong arm the dark-haired lady. Her name is Dr. Sturman, and she apparently is a psychiatrist that is treating or has treated Moon Knight. Detective Frazier wants dirt on Moon Knight. The psychiatrist is a tough cookie, though. She's been through too much to be scared into talking to this dirty cop. Detective Frazier calls her real boss, Achilles Fairchild, tells him she couldn't get the squeeze on the psychiatrist like she hoped, but Achilles is too cocky. He says Moon Knight's on the run. He's hiding underground like a rat. Achilles is partially correct. Moon Knight is indeed hiding underground, and he is indeed a bit out of sorts. The fake news is trashing Moon Knight's good name, calling him a drug dealer kingpin, a criminal, and Mark does what Mark does and tosses some moonblades, destroying the TV. Another personality residing inside Moon Knight's head, Jake, mocks Mark for his impetuousness. I initially was drawn to Moon Knight because Mark Spector, one of his personalities, was a Marine. I also like the fact that Moon Knight doesn't always seem to have a solid plan. So unlike Batman or Cyclops, who are two of my favorite characters who seem to always have a contingency plan, Moon Knight seems to fly a bit by the seat of his pants. Let's see if that holds true or not through this series. Moon Knight's two personalities are arguing with each other. Jake, who has the mustache and Peaky Blinders style cap, is telling Mark to get off his ass. Get out of those sewers, stop hiding like a little bitch, and go out there and start busting some heads. Mark responds in a way that I feel is a bit out of character. Mark says he's afraid. Afraid of what? Some human gangster? Now, Moon Knight has his third personality, Steven, chime in, confused as I am as to why Mark would be afraid. As Moon Knight, they have fought vampires, supervillains, all sorts of monsters. So why would Mark say he's afraid of Achilles Fairchild? It doesn't make any sense to me. Or to Steven. Mark responds, says he isn't afraid for himself, but for the other guys that are on his current team. Now, this makes sense to me. I always thought of Moon Knight as a solo guy, like Batman before Robin or the Bat Family. Having teammates is nice, but they can also be used as leverage, creating a weakness where there is none as a solo guy. Obviously, Mark is the main personality driving the Moon Knight ship right now, but it would be exhausting trying to make a decision about anything when you have two other strong personalities always trying to chime in. I enjoy the art. I enjoy how the white of Moon Knight's outfits are always hyper bright white, seeming alive next to the backdrop. Moon Knight is contemplating exactly what we were just talking about. Maybe everything is easier going solo. No friends to worry about getting killed, but also there's no backup. Moon Knight is underground now in Vermin's territory. Moon Knight could definitely use some backup right about now. This is one of my favorite pages in the book. Both Jake and Steven personalities tell Mark to run. Mark says, F that, I'm done running. This is why Mark is in charge, baby. The Marines never run, they attack. Oh boy, I'm new to these characters, but I guess Vermin's are Spider-Man's normal enemies. Moon Knight says he ain't Spider-Man. He ain't got no problem killing them, and starts with one smashing its head into mush. The Steven personality is a bitch of a bitch, begging Mark to just run. There are too many to fight. Does Mark listen? Nah. He gets thrashed from behind for it. No, did he? Now the tough guy Jake personality is begging Mark to run. Mark ain't running, people. He fighting. They want it. They can't get it. Mark is fighting his ass off, but getting bit left, right, and center by these little vermin creatures. The art is ever so dizzying. How long can Mark keep this up? Seems like there is never-ending swarm of these rat vermin creatures. Mark says he's gonna kill them all. That's what I'm talking about. It looks like Mark is literally drowning in these creatures, but he is adamant. He cries out, "Nothing can kill me!" He's badass. Mark tells his other personalities, Jake and Steven, he is finally who he is meant to be. The blood-drunk, murder-hungry, semi-crazy warrior. It's who he is. It's who Mark is. He is like a wild dog, a devil dog. The corrupt Detective Frazier gets home from her shift, grabs a beer, eyes pop. She knows there's a stranger danger there. She's terrified. Asks him if he's gonna kill her. Obviously, stranger danger is Moon Knight, all ripped up, even scarier than normal. Moon Knight says maybe he'll kill her. He hasn't decided yet. The cop stutters, but I'm a cop. You can't just kill me. Moon Knight says he don't care anything about that. Detective Frazier wants to know how he figured out she was so dirty. He says it's easy. Detective Frazier is sloppy. Moon Knight had one of his people spying on her, heard the whole shebang. Detective Frazier says that she's stuck. As long as Achilles Fairchild controls the glitter supply, he will control her. Frazier says there's no kicking the habit per se. You quit glitter, you die, or go into a coma. So she says she has to do what he says. Moon Knight orders Frazier to call Fairchild. Moon Knight plays straight up with Achilles Fairchild. He says he's had enough of this dance. Let's square up. Fight for the territory, man to man. Achilles claims to be this some sort of awesome fighter. Let's see if he'll back up that talk going man to man against Moon Knight. Let me know what your thoughts are on this issue. Hit that like button, subscribe to never miss an episode, and see you real soon. Peace.